Hey guys, Frenchber here. So Harris is strong because of her, her abilities and all the damage output she has, but especially she makes the boss weaker. That's her strength, and she makes it weaker for everybody in the team. Okay, so that's why if you are going to play Harris the way I do, and you're going to execute well, you are going to get very fast games because everybody and their mom in your team is going to do a whole lot more damage, like twice more damage. Okay, that's how strong Harris is. That's how it's done. Everybody, I guess you, me, everyone are currently trying to get the Ancestor modules, and the way to get these is very simple. Well, I would say there's only so much you can get from doing regular missions, but if you do World Crusher, you have a chance to get one, which is why I built up my Harris and I made sure I completely deleted Serena. Yay, right? Super happy. And now I'm playing Harris every single time, which is a lot more fun. And that's why I think this video is kind of cool and important, because if, just like me, you're going to farm the World Crusher a lot to get the Ancestor modules, you want someone that you like to play, and a build that's really great and strong for the next 100 or 200 World Crushers you are going to kill. So yep, see you next time. Yeah, now goes the build part of the video. Alright, welcome to the build part of the video, where I show you guys the build, and I really go over the details of the modules and stuff like that, so you guys can further understand how strong and how insane Iris can be, and especially how exactly do you get it out of her, because you have to like build it up. Meanwhile, you have to like start a game and then build her strength, and then pretty much just make it happen by getting the stacks up, by using her powers the correct way, and by really taking the time to understand her a little bit, or at least understand her mechanics. So yeah, let's cover the build, and I will try to give you guys good tips and stuff like that. Also, I've been listening to feedback, about my commentary. Like the more views I get, the more I would say constructive criticism I get. Sometimes it's not just constructive criticism. Sometimes it's kind of bad. It's a bit nasty, but that's okay, I guess. It's how it is, right? I also get a lot of support, so thank you a lot for that. I don't care about how many hate I get, because I get so much support on the other side. Obviously, I still look at what the haters say, because there is sometimes a bit of truth in it, but no worries. I don't go for hate. Anyways, so battering ram, extremely strong skill that pretty much turns the boss into a puppy. I think that's a good way to think about it, because that makes him weak. The boss becomes weak, literally. That's what he does. As you can see, the defense decrease amount is like defense times 25%, and this has no limits. Okay, so you're going to weaken the boss, and well, you're going to weaken the boss with that 181,000 defense. That's how high I went. Okay, like that's just nasty. If you guys have been playing this game for a while, you will know that this is quite a high number, and this is not easy to get. You have to go through a lot of modules and stuff like that. And that's not it. There is more into the build that you don't even see here. There is more defense going on. So yeah, I'm pretty much unkillable. Well, I probably have like around 250,000 defense total, maybe more. But anyways, let's get to what's next. So no Transcendant, because they don't help. They change the attacks, and all of the attacks are awesome and neat though, and kind of work accordingly. They are very fluid. I don't know if it's the correct word to use for just such for modules, but yeah, I guess the fluidity of her attacks in between is really fast, and you don't really want to stop that or to interrupt that by having an animation that's changed and makes the whole thing weaker. It's like a chain. If you break the chain, not good. Anyways, focus on fusion. I still like to go with that because of the skill cooldown and skill power. However, maybe I don't exactly need that. Maybe I could go with not a focus mod, but something with more power, such as this is always such as skill simplification. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that would be a better option? Then we have all of the damage, I guess, that transfers into all of the defense that transfers into battering ram and makes it in a way skip power because it weakens the boss. So shield conversion, shield conversion defense, along with increased defense. And well, this also coupled quite well with shield charge, which makes which gives you escape power depending on how much defense you have. So that really goes together quite well. So more defense, more skill power, and the boss becomes weaker. Isn't that great? Like what Harris can do, yeah. Other than that, power increase, which is better than her own toxic focus mod, okay? This always has been better because this buffs her from a different angle, let's just say that. And well, the most angle you get to buff Harris with, the better, it's like different perspectives, if you buff a character from different directions, it's going to be better than if you only buff her from in one area. Let's just get it areas. Anyways, MP conversion for cooldown, along with nimble fingers, and obviously the little bit I have here. Oh yeah, my big bad Ancestor module, fusion skill modifier, yellow, max MP useless, tech skill per boost ratio a little bit useful, and though the source of power mainly comes from comes from this fusion skill. So fusion skill modifier is just quite useful here, I guess. But yeah, tech skill per boost ratio doesn't really help, and the minus HP luckily is useless. I would say defense would be the best role you could get. Possibly something like cooldown. If I had extra cooldown here, I could remove the cooldown here, and the cooldown maybe even. Well, probably not, but I could basically add more power to my build, just make it more even stronger, strengthen it. So yeah, that's it for the build. I went over everything. Let's smoothly go into what's next. So I decided to switch for that. I wasn't choosing that in the gameplay you will see, but I think it's a better call now that I mastered, I would say, Harris and the cooldown you get from the first part of her bar. So that is what I think is not best, but close. Colossus damage and fusion skill power is and would be the way to go, but I don't have it, and I'm not going to spend resources to get a slightly better reactor. Okay. Even though it's kind of game changing if you go for the world records. Here I decided to go with what's fun. The new set. Is it a better set between this and the black set? I'm not sure. This one might just be better, this one might just be better. However, this is new, so this is cooler to me to use. I play to have fun in a way, so I would say go with the hazmat set. I leveled it up, I made it great, oh yeah. MP is useless here, which is why I didn't really care to level that up. That's why it's purple and blue. HP recovery modifier is useful, but honestly, I'm so tanky, I don't even need it. Yeah, the rest, the effect it has is quite simple. If you use your ability number 3 and the boss gets hit by it 5 times, which is very quick, that takes a few seconds, you then have a 65% raw skill power, which is insane, okay? So just make sure that you use your ability number 3 often to get that boost. Make sure it's on at all times, pretty much, okay? There's a 5 seconds delay. If you don't have it on, within 5 seconds, you're going to lose all stacks, okay? So what's next? Oh yeah, the Arche tuning. So personally, I don't know if it's the best, it's questionable. Maybe I have too much defense, maybe not. But either way, I went for it. So this gives you a lot of extra defense, 120%, and makes you maybe reach whatever cap there is. You might just reach it for the boss and how much defense he can take off. Because there's only so much defense. There's only some. You can only make the boss that weak. There's a limit at how much weaker you can make the boss using your own defense. Okay, to shred his. Okay, even I have some Colossus damage or defense here too. Yeah, just very simple, I think. Invasion enforcement, I personally went for skill cooldown, especially for the beginning, quite useful. So you don't need to go back to I would say the first part of your bar to get extra cooldown because you have it being given to you by this. Here, in case if I want to use my sword, which I probably do, but I probably should use it a little bit at times, just once or twice, to get a little bit of extra damage, because why not, right? Here, oh, that's Harris. So you get an extra 9% skill power if you look at the bottom, if you're using Descendant Harris, where your toxin is between 30 and 70%. So that's the second part of your, that's the second, that's 2/3 of your bar, okay? Right. Now for the, well, for the guns, I would say you should have Secret Garden in your hands because it's going to buff Harry's skill power by like 50%. So you use that, and you're going to do a lot more insane. Okay, that's my tip. So yeah, that's pretty much it. By the way, I since since I was going to play Harris a lot, no, because I'm going to kill the World Crusher quite much. I decided to uh, get some hair, like way cooler looking hair. So and that's the colors I went with for the body skin. But just the free skin on Harris, nothing too special here. Just Eclipse Black, Clear Coat Red, very simple. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. See you next time. Yeah, see you next video. See you next video. And yeah, like and subscribe for more. Bye bye.